Hope you enjoyed that. Drew McIntyre reacts to Goldberg's push on Raw. Hey there, it's the first response by Drew McIntyre after this week's WWE Raw after Goldberg returned. If you are new, it would take you just some seconds to subscribe my channel. It would be life-saving. On this week's WWE Monday Night Raw, Drew McIntyre was confronted by the returning Goldberg. The former WWE Universal Champion made a surprise appearance on Raw Legends Night and closed out the show by pushing the reigning WWE Champion. Taking to Twitter, Drew McIntyre has now reacted to Goldberg's push from Raw. In a response that could very well be regarded as savage, McIntyre claimed that Goldberg pushing him on Raw would be the only push he will get upon his return. In the first Monday Night Raw of 2021, Drew McIntyre retained the WWE Championship in a classic match against Keith Lee. Following his win, however, McIntyre, much like the entire WWE universe, was caught by surprise with Goldberg's return. Is WWE heading towards Drew McIntyre vs Goldberg on the road to WrestleMania 37? A few weeks ago, Goldberg appeared on an episode of WWE's The Bump, and during which the former WWE Universal Champion put Roman Reigns on notice. By claiming that the tribal chief is next, Goldberg made his intentions quite clear, and fans started to wonder if the WCW icon would challenge Reigns for the Universal title. Roman Reigns himself responded to Goldberg on Twitter, and by the looks of things, it seemed as if WWE was headed towards a potential feud between the two heading into 2021. However, now that Goldberg has set his sights on Drew McIntyre, the chances are that WWE will have the former Universal Champion challenge for the WWE Championship next. While nothing has been confirmed, as of now, the next few weeks will definitely be interesting. The WWE Universe definitely wouldn't want to miss how the story between Drew McIntyre and Goldberg unfolds. This was it, see you soon. Peace out.